Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Timbuktu Campaign. Last time, under the archonship of Sabiri Chilabili, we concluded our massive invasion of North Africa with the conquest of the Emporia and Tripolitania provinces, at least the parts that were occupied by the former lands of Oyat, in the Africa and Kyrenaica regions, respectively. This has given us a fairly substantial Mediterranean exclave, which we have attempted to kind of get under control and do some development within. We spent some time and money to build roads up here, as this is going to be a very important area to quickly maneuver around, especially because being so far from our core, our levy will take a very long time to get here if we are attacked. This is a pretty exposed area to maintain, and at the end of the day, there's not really a better way of doing this aside from, I guess, conquering and settling through sort of Central Africa and then kind of wrapping around like this. This involves fighting Egypt before everyone else in Africa, which is probably not the best way of doing it, as there are some much softer targets we could pick off before dealing with Egypt, who, as I mentioned before, is the certified final boss of the Africa conquest long-term plans. But no matter what we did, unless we did this wraparound plan, we would have needed to set up some sort of forward operating base via the Sahara, as we've done here, and it was successful, though we are definitely in a bit of a precarious position here. If any of the North Africans declare on me, and it is very hard difficulty, so they certainly are capable of doing so and are very much able, and we've seen in this campaign, even in previous very hard campaigns, that it does happen. We're not going to be able to react very easily. Now, my current plan is to hire these mercenaries or some other mercenary company in the area as a kind of either just local army that I use to protect the area. It's going to be expensive. You know, this is a pretty large mercenary company, but at the end of the day, the sheer headache I would suffer from having to, load up my levy or kind of raise my levy and then send them on a 6-month, trek through the caravan routes to get up here, only to then beat a much smaller army in a defensive war. It's probably better just to use my vast fortune to pay for someone else to do it for me, so we can basically contract with these local mercenaries to protect the area for us. There are a number of ways this plan could stumble, and I'm certainly aware of that. The AI could try to pay them to betray us, or the AI could hire mercenaries. That's the much bigger concern, as we saw in the war we had in the previous 2 episodes. That certainly can cause problems, even with our full levy raised. Whatever the case, I'm kind of playing it a little bit risky here by maintaining this territory at all, but I need to start to break into the North African world one way or another, and this has worked out pretty well, and I'm happy with the way this territory is shaping up so far. Also making me feel a bit more relieved is that the rest of North Africa is a bit of a mess right now. Since Carthage was essentially kicked out of their own homeland, none of the other North African tags have really known how to handle their absence, and the power vacuum here has only gotten worse since I killed Oyat. So now myself and Mauritania are looming on the borders of what seems to be a rapidly deteriorating situation here in the Africa region, with Leptis Minor, Thapsus, and Basatis, the big 3 over here, just in a kind of all-out battle with each other. Pretty gnarly situation, and any sort of unified North African resistance to my arrival hasn't seemed to materialize here, at least since Oyat was destroyed. So we'll see where this goes. There's a lot of open questions about where this might go. Carthage, incidentally, is still on the map. They're now up here on their kind of sad exile kind of last stand point of Sardinia, with their new capital of Sulci. So that's an interesting historical, alt history scenario for them. We'll see if they have some sort of triumphant rise from the ashes here, but who knows. Either way, with this territory secure, we also have stuff going on in our core. At the moment, we have an army on its way over to kill these barbs, as we often have to do whenever they raise up every couple of years. But more importantly than what's going on with our army, we have what's going on politically. Last episode had a big focus on internal politics, as we had Sabiri Chilabili with her very high zeal giving us a lot of stab change, so I thought may as well do some politicking, and we discovered that there's an interesting kind of obscure way to mess with party politics by essentially sending off characters that we don't want contributing their power base to a party to act as agents in another country. And so that's a strategy I'm eager to continue to experiment with and see if we can further manipulate this game's very opaque politics system as best we can, at least. But we had, of course, famously in the previous episode, a bit of a last-minute political upset as the expected next Otacon for quite a while, who I meticulously set up to take over, that being the party leader of the oligarchs, Sabiti Sawari, was not elected in the last possible moment in the December tick, which I find often pretty unfair when it does happen, because there's nothing you can do once you're in the December tick, except for the new expected character like dying or something, but you don't really have a way to ensure that happens or get them out of the way in time most of the time. So she was not elected. Instead, the traditionalist Zainab Isawagan was elected, and although I didn't plan for her to be the new Otacon, she's who we have, so let's take a second to take a look at her and the Otaconship of Zainab Isawagan. I don't want to just assume this is going to be an episode that's not going to go my way. Obviously, I was excited for the high charisma Sabiti Sawari coming in, but we do have 6 charisma with Zainab, and she does have some good zeal and possibly some good traits, so let's not be pessimistic. Let's see what we're working with here. So Zainab is coming in with the 0 Marshal. Admittedly not the best start, but I'm not looking to go to war this episode. The low manpower recovery is definitely a little bit painful, but we got plenty of room for recovery as we basically expended all manpower in the western quadrant of Africa in our invasion, so we're working on it now. But either way, no effect from that. 6 finesse is going to mean at minus 6% build cost and at plus 12% national commerce income. If the oligarchs and their leader had come in, we would actually have had less finesse, so we would have had a minus 3% build cost, but we would have also had the minus 15%. Now, as I said last time, my kind of min-maxer brain delaying tactics to wait to do building infrastructure, I just need to kind of do it at this point because we're sitting on this massive treasury. Yes, I wish I could have a higher build cost reduction when I did my buildings, but these trads are doing everything they can possibly think of to keep the oligarchs out of the chair, so at this point, I just need to start, doing some construction. I don't have a ton I need to do. It's not like I have a lot of construction waiting to get going, but I want to do a full review of the country, especially because it's January 1st of 250. That's a pretty auspicious round year. So I want to make sure that I add in any buildings where there's now slots for it. I certainly have the money to do it, even without the build cost reduction from oligarchs. At the end of the day, I sort of feel like I'm in a position where it's like I'm one of those people at a country club who's complaining about their accountant not giving them, an 80% tax break instead of a 75% tax break. Like, we're talking about absurd small amounts of difference for a vast fortune. So let's be pragmatic here. We got money. Money can be spent on buildings. Buildings improve every part of my country. We gotta invest. So we're gonna do that. So having noted that, Charisma, Zainab is bringing us plus 1.20 claim fabrication speed for what that's worth and minus 0.06 monthly tyranny. Obviously, this is less than Sabiti Sawari, who would have been bringing in higher monthly tyranny loss, but minus 0.06 from 6 charisma is fine. We do have around 20 tyranny that I'm hoping to kind of get rid of. Fortunately, we're completely out of AE at this point. Also, no war exhaustion left either. And our stability is on the high side, though it's not super, super high, and our actual stab growth isn't amazing, and that's with Divine Sacrifices. But 66 stability is definitely a good place to start at here, and so we've got everything that we can have going to get our tyranny loss underway here. Lastly, 8 zeal from Zainab. This is her best stat, to be sure. Minus 0.08 monthly war exhaustion and plus 0.08 monthly stab change. Also, let me quickly check and see, what are we looking at for this? It's actually going to expire right now. Yeah, I remember now. I synced it up with the actual elections. Let me see here. Can I do it now? No. It's going to only kind of count the cooldown as over next month, I think. So I'll just do this. Actually, I'm not going to be able to afford it next month anyways. We'll do it as soon as we can. For now, I can't do anything about it. But getting back over to Zainab, I'll also note that with Trads in charge, again, we have plus 10% Omen power in effect, as you've become used to by now, probably. But moving over to Zainab. So she is ailing, not the best start, only 43, but I guess she has some health problems. Perhaps because she's a lunatic. Okay, -2 martial, -2 finesse, +2 charisma, and +2 zeal. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that. I thought she had more finesse than this, but I must have seen her before she became a lunatic. Zainab Isawagan is, in no uncertain terms, stark raving bonkers. Not great. I'm going to put her on to Scheme Influence, because I can't ask her to seek treatment, so may as well do that. Also, tactically inflexible, -1 martial. As a commander, -10% reinforcement speed. Supply lines, routes of retreat, and all-round good planning mean nothing to Zainab. Cautious, -1 martial. Oh my gosh, this might be the worst martial character I've had as an Icon in quite a while. -2% Great Winter Construction. 5 loyalty. Doesn't matter when she's the Icon. As a commander, +5% reinforcement speed and +5% army morale recovery. Even the best laid plans can fail without due diligence. Wise, +1 finesse, +0.10% monthly statesmanship. She's at 46 statesmanship with a very, very high statesmanship increase, as being the ruler gives you a big bonus in vanilla for statesmanship. And +0.15 trad conviction. She is, in fact, very much a trad hardliner, so no surprises there. And as the ruler, 3% increased national citizen output. That's pretty good. And then she's obsessive, +1 zeal, +0.05% more monthly statesmanship, +5% Great Wonder Construction. As the governor, -10% local research everywhere in Ghana. Not great, that's where most of my research is coming from. But as the ruler, 2.50% research everywhere, so probably overall a negative because a lot of my research is centered in that Ghana region, but it's not as bad as it looks. When Zainab puts her mind to a task, she could quite forget about anything as trivial as eating, sleeping, or at times breathing. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and review the government situation more broadly. So Trads are in charge, and they're also the majority in the actual assembly, with basically 64% control in total. Similar to what's been going on recently, oligarchs are lagging pretty far behind, and they have a very small minority party. Democrats have like a couple random people still repping them, but they don't really have a lot of sway anymore. So overall, we're basically still in this era of trad dominance without much movement in other directions. In fact, the long-standing trad party leader, Lambu, looks to be coming back in as the Icon next election. I'd be fine with this. She's a really great character, and I like her a lot. So we'll see what happens with that. But either way, Trads are large and in charge, basically in every sense. We're going to need to pay attention to their happiness here. Now, fortunately, Trads are easy to deal with because they don't care much about officer politics, unlike the other parties. I think we want to probably lean or err on the side of ensuring we have diverse family representation, because the oligarch control is more weighted with their, or I should say their approval is more weighted with their higher control. But yeah, I think we can just ignore the Democrats right now until they gain more control. They can just be, left, to complain while not having much actual voting power to affect anything. So let's go ahead and replace everyone and kind of start from scratch here. Okay, so let me go ahead and actually start with the with these characters here, because we can now go for meritocracy without any worry about Democrat frustration from too many families being represented. We can sufficiently refill all of our positions here with the best of the best. A lot of these characters may just be rehired right away, but, it is. I think it's good to have these sort of big picture reviews just to ensure I am catching everywhere that needs to be made more efficient. Also, let's do a quick governor review and see if I want to replace any governors. So obviously, Zainab over in Ghana can't replace her, so she's still there. In Jene, we've got Consola Isawagan the Jackdaw, who I was trying previously to set up as a possible Icon, but she did not manage to pull it off. 8-7 is perfectly fine for Jene, and I don't think I want to change any of these actual policies. I guess while we're doing this, let's do a quick province review as well. So let's see here. It's these three here. So what's our... Okay, we're at 52% there. 79%. It's probably ready to switch over. Yeah, around 80% I switch over. So we don't have a lot of PI to work with, but I want to get this going now. Let's switch this over to assimilation. You know, 85% might have been a little bit better, but around 80% is kind of my cutoff point. This is, let's switch it over now. They'll still have conversion just at a lower rate, even without the policy going, so that is fine. All right, getting back to it. All right, so, and then what about you? Yeah, I'm keeping you there, that's right. All right, so moving on to Songhai. We've got Poko Sawari, another character I was trying to set up as an Otacon. She's a little, like, high quality for such a small region, but I think I'm probably just going to leave her there, unless I have a reason to move her somewhere else. Yeah, that's fine. Also, okay, so again, what are the families at right now? We've got 2, 2, and 2. Sawari, Isawagan, and Zabarima. Okay, that's fine. Quick governor checks. Also, what's everyone's health? What's everyone's health like? Okay, you're healthy. Songhai governor is perfect health. Okay. And then Sahara Occidentalis governor, she's in very poor health. I think I noticed this before. Maybe it's living in the desert just kind of does something to you, but she's really struggling here. So, yeah, she was a pretty solid finesse character, but I'll have to replace her. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah, so we'll just leave that alone. This is all fine. All right, Joloff, how is Yuma holding up here? He is healthy. Okay. Looks like he's doing fine. Joloff, policies here. I'll actually come back to Joloff because it's such a large region. Let's quickly check Mali. I'm assuming these are all correct still. How is Alima holding up? Very poor health for her as well. Not great. Okay. And then let me quickly check Mali's provinces. 81% Medaic, or it's time to switch over to, this is why I check. Time to switch over to cultural assimilation. What do we have here? 71, not quite there. 50%, nope. 91%, oh my gosh. We definitely want to switch you. I actually over-converted here a little bit. This wasn't efficient, but I wasn't, you know, it's not like it was bad or I was missing out. It would have been technically more efficient to switch to assimilation a little bit sooner, but I'm doing it now, so it is what it is. All right. One possible issue is if she dies really soon, that PI will have been for waste, but I don't think she's going to die super soon. She's just very poor health. She's not near death. She also doesn't have any diseases that I can see. I think it's just from age and just kind of natural health decline, but who knows. Okay, lastly, we've got our northern holdings, Africa and Karenica. Now, we are already working on this stuff in the 2 main provinces up here. This is sustainable. This is sustainable. As for these actual characters, I assigned them mainly for just their high finesse. I don't really want to remove them unless I need to, so we'll just leave them there. So that's all fine. Okay. Quick review complete. Now let's circle back over to Joloff and check all of these provinces. Okay, this place here is probably ready to switch onto religious conversion. That's fine. What about here? Okay, you're on religious conversion. 79%. I'm not quite there yet. Once you're in the upper 70s, I start to consider a switch. Over here, this place is definitely ready to switch onto religious conversion. We actually can't afford any more policy changes, so we'll come back to it later. All right, next up, let's do our Omen. I imagine we just want to do Jackal again. Yeah, I can't think of any reason to do something else. So let's go for Jackal once again. Usual situation there. Okay, let's start assigning our offices here. So I basically don't think I want to change any governors. I don't have any like problem governors right now. No one here has any loyalty problems or actually that's not true. The governor of Africa does have loyalty problems. Right, what's the issue here? Oh, he's a Democrat, that's the issue. He's really mad because his party is very low popularity. Okay, he's 61, he's ailing. I think I'm going to give him free hands. Democrats do like this, and trads don't like this. This is not a particularly efficient action, but I can't bribe him. Zainab doesn't have 100 gold, really? Oh my gosh. All right, well, yeah, I can't bribe him because Zainab is poor. I can give him a holding, I guess. Democrats don't like it, even though he is a Democrat. I guess they're sticking to their principle on that one. I'll just give him free hands. That's fine. Yeah, it was a big support swing, but it'll even out in time, and this just kind of cleans this up. I'm just going to leave him here. I don't want to miss out on the PI for changing the policy for this place again, and I'll have to replace it when he dies, which will likely be in the future. 621 and ailing is getting there. So yeah, we'll come back to that later. Probably want to avoid any Democrat governors if I want to avoid these problems happening. Also, Sibiri Telavelli, the former Archon, is in kind of the threshold area for disloyalty. She doesn't have any role right now. Actually, I'm going to give her a role because she should return to her traditional position as the augur with her crazy 80% statesmanship. She's, aging, but 27% omen power is yeah, wow. That's a big number right there. So she's helping out a lot with that. It's only going to get better, too, in just a moment. All right, so let me actually first assign the researchers. So, okay, Marshall, high natural, Marshall, want to grow, statesmanship. Probably Raisa Zabarima. 36%. I should probably use her for a marshal position. Let's put Raisa Zabarima in there to build statesmanship on him. Also, this will just result in additional wages, but it won't affect his loyalty for PI generation purposes. All right, administrator. Oh, I guess that's the name. I never noticed that that's the name of this position. All right, administrator for civic advances. Let's see. I kind of want to use someone who's up here, but they all have such good statesmanship. Shinyubu Nalirigo I'm definitely using for my... Look at his money, by the way. This guy's rich. I want to use him for my officer... as one of my officers, one of my finesse officers, or a martial officer, potentially. I think I'll make... I think I'll probably make... I'll make Silman Bulsa. He has the most corruption. Well, excuse me. Let's see, actually. What could I... Honestly, I think... I don't actually need... Yeah, let me put Haiwa Cao over here. She does have some corruption as well. And I want her to build statesmanship further. She could actually be a pretty good Otacon with those stats, but she doesn't have a lot of power base, so no one's going to vote for her. And she's a Democrat, so also no one's going to vote for her for that reason either. But moving on. All right, let's see. I think I want to... What do I want to set up here? Probably Badkisa Bulsa, who has less statesmanship. We've got Lambu floating around. Of course, I'm going to use Lambu as my as one of my characters in my officer roster, but she did, of course, does have a lot of charisma. I think I probably want to continue building charisma. Yeah, Sabiti Sawari is also a high statesmanship, high charisma veteran politician at this point, so let me use her as an officer as well. This means I can use Rasmata Tilabele and not worry about having to save her. Wow, she's got some really good stats as well, just in general. Not great martial, but solid finesse and zeal, and of course very good charisma. Let's put her in there. And then religious advances, let's see. 13 zeal on this guy? Wow. Yeah, let me put him in here so we can build more statesmanship. And yeah, that looks fine. Coming back over here, we will need... I may actually switch Siberian here for the maximum divine sacrifice cost reduction once I can do it. But for now, let us put... let's see. Probably Highway Isawagan over here. I don't love her corruption, but she's crafty. She is really loyal despite that high corruption, so I think it's fine. Sibiri, can I give you free hands again? I think I will. I think Sibiri is probably going to die this episode. 71 is pushing it in this game, and she has diphtheria as well, and Mentagra. I mean, she's had she's got a lifestyle. I'll just say that. Anyways, okay, censor. Here's the big question. I think I probably just put Lambu camera back in, as usual, to continue the trad appeasement process. I mean, trads are real happy with me. They like my high stability. They like me being at peace. They don't care about politics, or they don't care about family politics. So it might make sense to actually put an oligarch in, possibly even Sabiti Sawari, who is the oligarch leader. So, and also Lambu's the other leader. She's the trad leader. I think this makes a lot of sense. Sabiti is going to be a little lower quality than Lambu, but I think I care more about oligarch approval right now. Yeah, Democrats have lost even more control, despite having a number of researchers and other officers and governors who are Democrats. Let's put Sabini Sawari in. She's also a fair bit younger. She's about a generation younger than Lambu. And if I can get her statesmanship up a little higher, not only would she obviously be a great Archon, I would love for her to be the Archon, but she would actually make for a really good oligarch, like high-powered oligarch sensor, as Lambu has been my high-powered trad sensor for quite a while. All right, let's put her in there. All right. Very good. So now oligarchs should be quite a bit happier, and they are quite a bit happier. Very nice. Yes. Okay. Magistrate. Let's see. I could put Lambu as my magistrate, and I guess I probably should. I could also use her. I might use Lambu as my tribune of the treasury, honestly. She's not going to have the crazy marshal of Layla Sankara, but she's going to have more actual marshal because of her statesmanship. I'm going to put her in there. 13% national tax is nothing to sneeze at. And I was literally sneezing earlier, so I'm not lying. All right. Tribune of the Treasury. Yeah, it's like, I don't know what it is. Like, I have such bad seasonal allergies. It's literally February. Like, it's not even, springtime. And it's like, just the kind of distant thought of pollen in the air has me sniffling and sneezing like crazy. It's debilitating. All right. Tribune of the Soldiers. Probably, he's so good for Tribune of the People, though, for the civ change. Which do I care about more right now? I have some really good, like, economic and developmental military traditions that I've been looking at that are coming up. So, I think I'm gonna put him in here for now. And then for Tribune of the People, let's continue boosting up. 70 station ships are really good, but 7 actual finesse is not that good. Silman Bolsa has, like, the next best. Let's bring him back. Put him in there. Also ensure free hands for everyone who needs it. Yeah, I'll do that for you as well. Okay, Magistrate. I don't need any AE loss right now, but let's just go ahead and assign. Actually, which families are scorned still? Okay, the Sankatas don't have anyone. That's actually it. Do we have any Sankatas? Okay, here we go. Fonta Sankata. Yeah, you know what? Let me set her up. I want to do that with Mala, though. This is... Okay, you know what? For Magistrate, do we have any Sankatas with any charisma? Is this a Rizless family? Is this family of no Riz at all? Oh my god, where? Just... anyone? Come on. No one has more than 2? What? 1 is... is this true? Okay, 3? There's no way. The whole family is just full of... Wait. Where are you in my list? Awa Sankara? Hold on. Okay, something was not displaying right. Okay, let me find her. She had 8, right? Oh, here she is. I just missed her. Okay. My mistake. The Riz has been detected. I pulled out my Riz locator and I found her. The Riz has been located. All right, Awa Sankara, come on in. The great thing about being a technically being a millennial is that I can use all of the humor from, like, the brain rot, Gen Alpha, content, and I can just, I can do it all ironically, and I can. So it's I'm able to get away with it, but I probably shouldn't. It's real stupid. It's one of those things with humor. It's like, I feel like, millennial humor and older Gen Z humor, because I really even though I'm a millennial, I feel much more cultural kinship with Gen Z. Like, it's interesting to see Gen Z's style of humor be supplanted by Generation Alpha, and I thought Gen Z's style of humor was already so complex and ironic and hard to understand the layers of meaning, and then Gen Alpha is just we're dealing with abstract levels of humor now. Anyways, but all right, Ao Sankara, come on in. That'll fix that. Not the best actual statesmanship, but here's a character who I would want to build statesmanship on anyways, so she will do fine here. I don't need this impact right now. All right. Finally, as for the physician, we can now safely assign Mala Sawari, who we want to continue building statesmanship on. He may replace Silmon when Silmon dies, probably not super soon, but when he does eventually die, as the Tribune of the People. So, that is that. As for loyalty, Awa needs the free hands. That's basically it. We have some support problems now. Trads are not happy with all my free hands I've been giving out. Let's see. Is that right? I guess so. But it's going to improve pretty quick, so I'm not too worried. Okay, 3.49 PI per month. That's pretty good. And let's also not forget we do have, I believe, where is it in my interface here? Here it is. Summon senatorial war council. I had to find it. I don't know why every time I'm recording, I look into every single interface tab except for the right one to do anything. It's like I haven't played this game for hundreds of hours, but this interface is just it's like sifting through a pile of papers to find the one you're looking for. All right, summons a selection of our most prestigious senators to consider a focus for our next conquest. This can be used to provide a claim on a province and may be used once every 10 years. So I already have claims on Gao and Kirakongo, and I think I have a couple claims down here. What I'm very curious about is getting a claim on the North Africans, because that could open up some options in the future. We'll see what it decides to go for. The Senate assembles. Many long hours have passed since the Senate Hall closed for the day, yet four figures still sit animated in intense discussion over matters of future conquest. Subide, a senator known for their great speeches, Hawa, a senator known for their military interest, and Lambu, a senator with ties to the military. It's kind of a weird way to phrase it. A senator known for their military interest and a senator with ties to the military. The slow transformation of this campaign into just a big allegory for America is getting a little on the nose here, with double trouble military-industrial complex senators back to back. Despite significant discourse, ale, and argument, no consensus is made on the target for future expansion plans. Subide believes fervently that the Kirakongolese province of Yatenga should rightfully be under Timbuktuian rule. Hawa and Lebe, however, wishes to focus on Endama or Leptis Minor, respectively. That is a kind of wild... Leptis Minor is on the complete other side than these other two locations here. This is Guinea, and this is also, I believe, Guinea as well. Yeah, Kirakongo. Actually, this is Kirakongo. So we got down here, or Leptis Minor. So Leptis Minor is the trad option, so... I mean, this would have been the best option to go for political reasons, but this is also the strategically best option to go for. Now, I'm not going to go to war with Leptis Minor right now. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have a claim on them right now. So this would be useful to get. But I mostly this is just about planning for the future. Where would this be targeting? The Basatis province. Okay, so it would be specifically targeting... Yes, it'd be targeting this province here. So I don't know if Leptis Minor will keep this province or if they're going to lose their war that they're in with Basatis. I just realized, actually, so Basatis is over here, but the Basatis province is here. Interesting. Okay, well, either way, whoever controls this, I think the claim should remain. It'll just pass to the new owner. So we shall conquer Leptis Minor for the trads. Lambu gains some loyalty. Not that she has any loyalty problems, but this is certainly nice. She has a lot of power base, so good to keep that in mind. Lose some approval with the other parties. That's fine. We get the claim. All right. Actually, strategically useful war council. I'm glad I remembered to do it at the start of the episode. Okay, I think we're good to actually go ahead and unpause and resume. I'll lower maintenance once I kill these barbs, and aside from that, I don't think I want to do anything else here. I could increase wages again just to deal with some corruption. I don't think I need to do that, though. I can do sanctions without any loyalty penalty, just a, hold on. What was the thing that was removed? Was it loyalty or was it tyranny that was removed? I think it may have been tyranny, actually. Loyalty malice. Okay, the tyranny is what has not been removed. It's the loyalty malice. Is it even, hold on, is it even a tyranny malice? How do you play Imperator Rome? It is a tyranny malice. I was remembering correctly. Okay. I've changed, so basically every part of this game I've completely changed from my mod hegemony. I genuinely sometimes forget how to play vanilla Imperator Rome. And this is a modded campaign, but it's like, its core gameplay is pretty much vanilla Imperator Rome. So, apologies about that. But anyways, I think we're good to go ahead and proceed. I'll keep an eye on when we can do this, probably on the next monthly tick. But yeah, let us continue. Also 27 in the Ghana levy and 5 in the Jene levy. Looking very good. Let's go. Okay. Should be the tick. Number 3, as I believe we were before, just under the Indians now. Okay. This is now going to require 40.50. I could switch my my High Priest with my Augur to reduce this even further, but I don't know. That won't make a huge difference. Yeah, I mean, Hawa Sawagan is pretty good with her 7 real statesmanship here, as opposed to 9. So I don't think this would actually make a big difference. I know it'd be just kind of complicated to do all the switching. So we also can't afford it for quite a while anyway. So we'll just leave it alone. Any other barbs around here? Doesn't look like it. Also 70 per month. That's pretty good. I will review my trade network. I just want to get the army, situation resolved before I deal with all that. So we're almost there. Honestly, I could leave these guys and they would eventually die from running out of food and then starving very, very slowly from siege attrition, but I just want to free Azuki as best I can here. So yeah, we'll just come on in. A little quick battle here. Nothing too complicated to go on with that. Also, do you like my new lighting I set up here? It makes my my head look even more shiny, but that's alright. It just makes me look like I have a bright idea at all times, which I assuredly don't. Okay, that is that. We can go ahead and lower the levy. Here they are. Right down they go. Thanks, Jolof Levy. Okay. I don't know why I'm checking my score like that, but we're now good to reduce the pay. And let's get to building. We also have a bit of PI to work with now. So let's go back over to the Jolof region and review things. Okay, 76%. I kept you there. You are ready to switch onto conversion. Definitely. Over here, 73%, we keep it. This place, by the way, would make me a lot of money on the trade policy, just because it has a lot of, let's see, it's got 3 entire gold exports coming just from this one province because of the gold mines over here. What do we have here? 83%. Okay, you're ready to switch onto assimilation. There we go. You're actually the Mali province. We already looked at you. 80%. You're ready. This is why I'm checking, because I'm not going to remember to look at every province, every single episode, unless I make it an effort to review and make sure I'm catching when we're getting to that 80% range. I also just decided 80%. I think back during the it was back during the Damaset campaign where I really started to kind of come up with my more late game strategies when it comes to province management, and like 80% for conversion and assimilation just feels like a good place to be at. Since then, the natural conversion and assimilation of the province still continues to have an effect. beyond what you need the bonus from to deal with. So this is already set up now. This is already set up. This actually could have been on conversion for longer, but I think that's fine. Right, this is yeah, we're all good now. Okay, good. Let's resume. Actually, you know what? Let's do a quick trade check. Okay, quota needs a trade route again. Let's import. We have gold available. Are we trading in gold here? We have surplus, I believe. Let me actually quickly cancel one sheep and review. Ooh, I can get. Actually, we already have double earthenware. There's a few more trade goods for sale than I remember seeing before, so let's quickly review our full list of options here. I can't get double olive still for some reason. Can't get double marble. Double glass? Nope. I think we just resume with double sheep. I could get double step horses or double camels. That's actually kind of interesting. Actually, double camels would be really strong for the commerce bonus. Not that I'm using camels, but having camels in my legions eventually could be kind of interesting. I think I may want to... So let me actually get livestock again. I definitely want double livestock. Let's trade with Tuskia. I like having a trade relationship with Tuskia just because, although I will, in the long-term future, have conflict with them and try to make them my, like, you know, tributary or my feudatory. For now, they're a pretty reliable trade partner because they're across the Mediterranean. They're not likely to have serious geopolitical beef with me most of the time. Okay, so for the camels here, what could I switch out for? Possibly wood. I actually do have double wood locally. I'm just exporting it all. Or I'm exporting one. Let me cancel my one wood import. Okay. I could cancel my wood export and get the bonus. I don't really need the bonus, but the extra manpower here certainly isn't, like, unhelpful. So let me actually... I think it's probably better to have the manpower more than the export modifier, the export value, because I have so much money right now. So let's go over to the trade thing. Exports. So we're exporting wood from... Hold on. Here it is. Cancel this wood. Is it really 0.51 for just the wood? I'll be, okay. Maybe I do export the wood. 2% manpower or 0.51. Why is my wood so expensive? Who's buying my African wood and at such high costs? Alright. Very strange. Okay, well, if someone asked for the wood, I'll sell it to them. For 0.51, I thought it was less than that, but for point... I guess I do have a lot of export modifiers going on, so maybe I shouldn't question my splendor over here. But anyways, let's go ahead and... Hold on. I thought I had 2 more slots. I guess I canceled the one wood. So let me go ahead and... trade in... Oh, this is from the Chaldeans, okay. Let me cancel the olives. And get the other camels for the surplus. Or I guess for the extra commerce more than for the surplus. Okay, just about 70. Pretty close. Mysterious. Very mysterious. But moving on. Buildings. We have another building slot here, because we have 90 pops now. Let's see. So I could build another aqueduct. More pop capacity. I don't really need more pop capacity that badly right now. I could build more libraries. I probably do want to build another library for even more research points here. Let's see here. 67. I could also build... I just don't want to mess with ratios here. Okay, completely got rid of tribesmen here. Very low slave ratio, very low freeman ratio. I could build training camps for more manpower as well, or tax offices. But there's no like diminishing returns here. These are all just a flat modifier on that adds itself up. So I can just keep building up libraries to get the research bonus, which is what I kind of care about the most. I could also build another fortress. I don't think that's necessary at all, though. That would just be expensive for no good reason. Oh, you know what? I could build a great temple now. It wouldn't be particularly useful here. These guys are largely Bedaic, or at least a lot of them are Bedaic. The Civ level would be kind of nice, and I can have one great temple, you know, per city, so it's not like I can't. There's no reason I shouldn't build it here. What would I really want here, though? Probably the foundry for the research bonus. This requires blacksmith apprentices. Let's find that in the tech trees. It's probably over here. Blacksmith apprentices. Those apprentices? Marshall, maybe? Here it is. That's only 4 away, okay. I actually hadn't noticed that Foundry had such a big research bonus. Okay, these are not super useful, but this is pretty good. Okay, I think I might go for this next to get Foundries going in my big research season. That's going to be a big research boost. I think for now, let's just keep building libraries. I'm going all in with research. I've talked before about the big picture approach here. Okay, Tiabu has room for one more building. That's another academy. Ber has room for a number of buildings. Ber is pretty low pop, so I'm going to ignore it for now. Same thing, Aganaga Fall's not a city yet, but sort of same thing with Aganaga Fall. I don't really think it's necessary to, I don't have the PI to make it a city right now. Godam is full up. What about Bulel? Bulel barely has any pop. Yeah, that's all fine. We'll leave it alone. Houndu, it's full up. Nothing to worry about. Okay, where else are we looking? Okay, Timbo has some room. Let's build... Let me replace the library. Controversial action. Let's replace the library with 3 academies. We are all about education here in the Timbuktuan Republic. Okay, this place here needs a bit more pop than I can fit in 3 academies. Let's bring in some slaves to fill it up. Let's see. Some Bedaic bozos as well. That's even better. Maybe a little bit more. I do have vegetables. Okay, good. There we go. That's going to be 3 academies right here. Very nice. This also gives us a lot of Civ bonuses here as well, further improving the province overall and the territory overall. Let's not forget about Adawane. This place needs a court of law now. Right, moving back over. Okay, Bakunu, it's full up. I could grow it a little bit, but I don't think I want to do a lot of movement around here. I don't have a lot of pop to work with around here. This place here I already looked at. Ogo is next. It's full up. That's basically it over here. Okay, what about in the north? We've already... yeah, you know what? Let me, What's our demotion rate? It's pretty quick. Okay. This is pretty quick, too. Let me build... Let me actually build a court of law here next, just to help a little bit. It's not going to do much, but to help a little bit with provincial loyalty. Same thing over here in Oyat. Because I will eventually have... Oh, I can actually build another one here. Oyat's pretty huge, actually. Didn't really notice that until just now. Oyat's really, really high pop. Yeah, this will, long-term build here, and it does help in the meantime a little bit. Okay. That's good. That's actually not very much money at all to do all that. Okay, let's see if I can grow some of these cities a bit artificially here. Who do we have available to shift around? Not much. There's a few pops here and there, but there's not really much to work with. Let's see if we can get Ber and Bulel up to maybe 10 pops. I'm not gonna have enough pops to work with around here, unless I drain them. Actually, Timbuktu doesn't have many slaves, anyways. I don't want to reduce its pop count either. Let's just leave it as is, I think. Okay. I guess another question would be settlement buildings. Are there any mines I've overlooked? Let's see here. Can I get this interface over this? I can. Okay. Okay, this... Come on. Where are we looking here? Gafara. Oh, we can do it like this. Okay, we can build a stone mine up here. Do I want a stone mine here? I actually have a lot of slaves here. I guess I may as well get a stone mine up here. Yeah, plenty of slaves to work with up here. Okay, what will this require? It's going to be 12, so let's bring in some slaves now from nearby areas. Day Kunik? Okay, sure. That's fine. Alright, this is probably the best way of doing it. And then lap key, where is this? Oh, it's just right next door. Okay. Fair enough. Disallow that. And bring in to 12, I assume. Looks like it. Okay. Consala. What are we looking at here? This is a base metal mine. Okay. Let's bring in his elephant slaves. Bring them in. What do we get now? 10. This will be 12 once the mine's built. Bring in a few more. In the wild game. I have to do it like this because I just can't find the tile. My empire is so vast I can't find the tiles to build infrastructure, and now I have to do it like this. Gati and Faria. Okay, what are we looking at here? Okay, they're just right next to each other. So these are both in Mali. This is base metal and iron. Okay. Disallow, disallow. And then do we have enough around here to work with? We actually have quite a few lingering. Bring in from Masala. This will be 12. Well, okay, there we go. And we're going to be pushing it on slave count here, but we have a 4 to work with, and we have a few more we can drain away. Sangalan. Really pushing it here. Don't like to reduce the size of our capital, but that's okay. Okay, 12 there. And I'm assuming we want 12. We do. Okay. All right. All right, while we're at it, farming settlements. We have a lot more places that can be farms because I've been focusing a lot on mines. I don't know if I have a lot of slaves still to really work with in my core. Possibly not. Let me actually do a quick check on... Can I see? Hold on. Nope. Back. Farming settlements. Okay, so everything that's in purple hash marks is already a farming settlement. How do I do this? Let's see here. Can I? No, this doesn't work. Population? And then I can't get it to overlay. That's too bad. I wanted to check and make sure all my farms had a surplus still, but I can't easily overlay that. I think it's fine. Let's proceed. We have received word from local officials in the province of Sila that several important provincial food stockpiles have been looted by malcontents owing to the contempt for the government across the area. It seems they hope to make tensions worse by forcing hungry people to action. In any case, it will not be cheap to replace the stolen goods. I will pay. I want more loyalty on my governor out here. This is not any kind of concerning amount of money. And some loyalty in Sila. That's pretty good. We can colonize this. I don't really want to. Actually, I do really want to. This is part of Gene. I didn't realize I still had more of Gene to colonize. So, never mind. I will just go ahead and take that. Sure. Any other territories here I'd really want? Not really. Okay. That's fine. Okay, I've got some PI once again. Anything I want to change around here? Yep, that's all fine. This place here, I think I've been changing it back and forth. I keep changing it to encourage trade because it has some gold it's exporting, and then new governors change it back. I think I'll change it again because she is not likely to die super soon, so let's change it over to encourage trade. So what are we at right now? 69.81. 69.97. It's technically an improvement. I will take it. Okay. If not for the Zero Marshal of Zainab, I'd be going to war with Kirikongo and possibly Gao. But for now, we wait. You know what? Espionage. Okay, not employed. I wonder if I could send Lambu away just to open up the slot of to open up the kind of candidate position for an oligarch resurgence. I would really like to switch things up, but Lambu's pretty good, so I don't really want to not use her. So I think if any other trad other than Lambu was the next one up, I would do some shenanigans, but I like Lambu. She's a great character, good wartime Otacon for sure. She's getting kind of old, but she's still in perfect health, no illness problems at all. I think we basically just hold things down this episode and wait for Lambu to show up so we can go to war with Gao. Because I think Kirikongo, yeah, they're still in their alliance with Gao. They're also in a defensive league with Bobo Dio Lasso, for what that's worth. So, yeah, interesting. Yeah, we can definitely do a big... We can finally get around to conquering eastward into Songhai, which we've largely not done for the entire campaign. But we've just been waiting for the right moment here. Also, we still haven't picked a mission. I think... Should I do any of these? I generally don't like these stabilize and grow missions because they typically require really specific like building. This is something for my mod hegemony I plan with the generic missions I'll be coding to avoid, is having missions that force you into like a build strategy, because it's just such a huge waste to have to deal with that. It should reward like outputs or some other metric and not having a specific building that you didn't want to choose to have. But we could also do invade Tadla. I believe Tadla is, yeah, it's this area over here. That would involve fighting Mauritania, who is definitely a bit of a more substantial opponent. The Marian culture, in terms of their total strength with that, we definitely have them beat. We have over 800 bozos now. However, this would still be a bit more of a large-scale endeavor. I'm not 100% sure this is the right direction to go. Also, we still have Sigil Massa awkwardly in the way. I would certainly like to gain direct control, but until Sigil Massa offers themselves up as a feudatory, just as a random event, not much I can do. I wonder if I actually switch them from a tribal vassal to a tributary, because I think the event only triggers for tributaries and it doesn't trigger for tribal vassals. I'm pretty sure they need to be a tributary to switch. So maybe I abandon my relationship with Sigil Massa and then on the way to Mauritania, fight them again and make them a tributary. That's probably what I should do. These guys are already a tributary. I also would rather have money than manpower from these guys. But let's not do that this episode. I don't have the Marshal to work with here. Mauritania is going to be a bit more of a commitment. So I guess I could get the mission going. I don't really want to do Matter of Guinea right now. This would mostly just involve colonization, which I just don't really have the like spare population to do right now. I need to expand into territory that's already owned by someone and not into territory that I largely have to colonize. So let's go ahead and do invade Tadla. Just sort of see what this mission asks of us. Attack the province of Tadla in a large-scale invasion. Alright. Oh. Unfulfilled potential. Never mind. I guess we can't do it. Why? What's the issue? Great. I guess we just don't know. Okay, well, I guess we could do Matter of Guinea because we can't do this one. Okay. Let's see. Develop the region. Core of loyal subjects in Bema. Food supply, local mining. I mean, these objectives sound like ones I would do anyways, but these stabilize and grow, or like, you know, I think the mission I'm thinking of is the Pearl of Blank mission, where it's like the Pearl of Italia or whatever. Those are the ones that really require super deep commitment into buildings. But I have enough money, I can do that if I really need to. And there could be some really good economic advantages. Not to mention, I am trying to stabilize and grow Zoloft, so it's not like this is, you know, against my interests here. I think because I can't do Invade Tadla, I'm going to tentatively do Stabilize and Grow Zoloft and just kind of see what it wants me to do. I reserve the right to back out if it wants me to do something really crazy. But let's go ahead and start the mission. Okay, we already have stuff we can complete. That's a good sign. Okay, Mines of Sela, we already have this. Mines in all possible settlements. So we're going to get permanent slave output bonuses in these 3 mines. That's great. Sela is rich in metals and minerals in a way that few other provinces of Zoloft are. By expanding and developing the business in this province, the entire country could benefit. Alright, we also already have this. Interesting. So this will cost us 800 gold, and we're going to get a bunch of slaves in those mines. The growing wealth of Sela is not matched by its infrastructure. Voices are now being raised for furthering the development of the province so that more slaves can be bought in to man the mines. Okay, fruits of Bakunu. We already have all the farms in Bakunu. Bakunu is a very fertile area, so this makes sense. Bakunu gains for 10 years, 20% extra monthly food modifier. Bakunu is one of the most fertile provinces of Zoloft. With the right support, its farms could feed the entire region. Okay, bread and circuses. So Bakunu loses 600 food, and Timbuktu gains, Timbuktu being, I guess, my entire country, gains freedom and happiness plus 12% for 10 years. That's pretty good. Particularly rich harvests have created a food surplus larger than what our local food storage can handle. This is a golden opportunity to do something for the people of Timbuktu and redistribute the produce among those that need it the most. Okay, we can do one or the other. What would this require? We would need granaries in Bakunu. I'm glad it's picking Bakunu. I don't know if that's random, but I'm real glad it's picking that. I think I'd prefer this one for the national modifier. The provincial food capacity in Bakunu would be a nice permanent bonus, but it's such a niche bonus. What does this then provide? Bakunu would become a horse producer. Was it have now earthenware? I don't think horses are that big of a deal. If it was precious metals, I might consider it, but I'm fine to miss these ones here. Okay. What does this one require? Bema needs to have a fort, be a city, and have a marketplace and a library. Okay, Bema is Seto. I definitely remember where that is. Please let me look. Oh, here's Bema right here. Bema's not my preferred location for all of this infrastructure to be. Perhaps I could... I like Diakon being... Diakon's a better tile than Bema. I could build everything in Bema just for the mission. City of Bema. I get some free stuff from this. Okay, so this would require me to make... So this would be... I could build a fort, and then it's basically just a matter of the PI gain. A couple months to get the city purchase, and then once the city is complete, then we build marketplace and library, and then we get all these modifiers. Let's see here. Then we have to just build more buildings in Bema. Okay. And this one would be even more buildings in Bema. So it's just basically buffing up Bema, which I... Like, these modifiers for the Bema tile are just not super useful, because Bema's not a planned city. Like, this is what I mean. Like, why can't it dynamically target the actual provincial capital that I clearly want to have be the city location in Diakon? But if I do all this, I get even more bonuses for Bema. And then the province of Sero gains some modifiers as well, some permanent modifiers that are pretty good. 3 minor characters rise to serve their country. This is just not... I mean, it's not like... So basically, this is a lot of, like... Because all of these modifiers on the Bema territory are completely useless. They're going to still benefit it as a settlement once I demote it back from being a city. But Bema is just not a natural city location. It's not part of my road network. I didn't plan for Bema to be the city. So I have to pick one or the other here as well. Okay, I see how this works. So I guess it's just a matter of, it's a lot of money, which I have plenty of, and some political influence, and just some time to get the city foundation to happen. So this will take time. This will take, I can do this instantly with money. And then this requires even more money to build all these buildings. And it has to have those 3 at the same time. So it needs a certain amount of size, but I don't think I need to keep the previous buildings to do this. The province gains a permanent modifier. 3 able minor characters rise. I don't know what that means exactly. And we get a Bozo Noble in Bema. It's all a waste because then I just destroy everything, I demote Bema. But this lets me complete the mission and clear it for another mission. So I think we will do this weird Bema plan, even though I don't really care about Bema as a territory, just to complete the mission, just to get it over with. I mean, these things over here were nice, so it's fine. We'll pursue. I need to wait for the PI. A ruler is born. A daughter has been born to Zainab, named Halima Isawagan. All right, welcome to the world, Halima. Also, while I'm waiting, I'll go ahead and get the fortress construction. Well, will I get the fortress construction? How long? This will take a long time. And I'll have the PI in time. And I can't build a city while it's also having a fort built. But I also need the fort for this. So I need to do either one. So I guess I'll get the fort going now in Bema. It's annoying. I guess I could do the fort part later on because it costs maintenance to build the fort. That's probably, yeah, let me wait on the fort part and start with the city. Yeah, this is goofy, but I guess I'll save my PI for Divine Sacrifice at this point. All right, well, I knew this was going to be a bit of a weird episode just because we have an administration I was not expecting to be in charge. So we have to roll with the punches here a little bit. It's fine. Yeah. We'll just continue along. $39.50 on that. So my buildings are finishing as well. Very nice. We'll check after the tick how research is looking. Sabiri Chelabele ate a particularly rotten herring at the age of 72. She was the augur and the sister of the head of the Sawari family. She was the head of the Chelabele family. Rest in peace, Sabiri Chelabele. Another example of a very long-lasting character for the campaign, whose impact on the zeal side of my government is hard to overstate. This was one of my best zeal characters ever in the campaign, and it'll be hard to fill her shoes, especially with her crazy high statesmanship. So, rest in peace, Sabiri, longtime former augur, one-time former archon. You will be missed. All right, who's the new? Also need new augur. I'm probably going to promote Hawa to the position and replace her with we could replace her with Sabiri Sawari, maybe named after Sabiri Chelabele. I think probably want to replace her with the slightly higher statesmanship Geneva Chelabele. Let's bring in Hawa's walking up here. There we go. That's pretty close, so I'm fine with that. And here we go. Okay, looking pretty good. 164. What's our actual completion time here? 53. Okay, let me go up to speed 4 right now. not too much going on. Just waiting for resources to build up. Did I remember to actually get... I think I forgot to... Yeah, I forgot to actually trade something into Kun. I got distracted by something else. Ooh, dyes are available? Hold on. Do we have dyes here? We do have dyes. I'm going to actually... Okay, controversial action here. I'm going to actually... I don't have room here. I need to trade the dyes into Kura, actually. It's fine. That's not Kura. Here's Kura. I'll trade the dyes in. Actually, let me trade in the gold for value. Actually, that's my own gold. Oh, this is my own dyes. That's why I didn't see it before. Aha. That explains it. Just trade in something for value here. Probably base. Nope. That's mine. Livestock? It's technically the most valuable thing. No, actually, cloth is more. Let's trade in some Chaldean cloth. A little bit of extra money. Sure. Don't mind if I do. Got 40% total bozo. Poor harvest. Several years of widespread crop failure is taking its toll on our country. While our people initially preserved the true Timbuktuan spirit, now they have begun to blame their governors, enemies, and even an advisor they see the most responsible for this. Awa Sankara is clearly must take action. Okay. I'm going to say... I don't really want to gain corruption on her, although 10 corruption is not that much. Would also gain some popularity. What's my popularity doing for me right now? It's just happiness. I don't love this. I have good stability right now. Let's go ahead and raise the price. I don't want to gain corruption on Zainab if I can avoid it. Raise the price. Because then it's going to affect all of Ghana, which I don't want. Almost there. One more tick for that. How close are we? No, nowhere near close. These Indian empires are so powerful. More buildings are finishing. Very nice. Alright. Actually, this increased again. Oh yeah, because of the officers being switched. Next month or the month after that, we'll be able to do it. I do not like this at all. Yeah, not a big fan. These guys are fighting Maka. Interesting. These guys are fighting Kadar. Okay. No other big situations to note. These guys are fighting the Gauls. Okay. Expanding out this direction. Maybe there's a Tuscan, Caesar, and Gaul situation going on, but I am not sure if I see that on the actual tick. Whoops. Getting distracted. The treasury of Kamga Zabarima. This is my governor of Africa? Yeah. It seems Kamga Zabarima has got his hands on a lot of wealth as he started to invest a great deal of silver into building a reputation for himself lately. Though it is unclear exactly where he found these riches, his efforts are surprisingly effective. With his increased popularity, Kamga has started vying for a more powerful position in Timbuktu, shamelessly comparing himself to our Atakan Zainab Sawagan. Alright, I'm going to go for this one. I don't love the popularity loss here. But I need the loyalty on him. Now, what's his health looking like right now? He's ailing. He's not going as soon as I hoped he would. So let's avoid messing around here. This will quiet down in time. Hopefully, it probably won't quiet down, but can't do too much about this unless I want to replace him with someone. I think it's probably fine. His actual loyalty and his actual finesse are fine. There's no need to get hasty here. So I think we're fine. We got ourselves a minor addendum. Hawa Sawagan has suggested a small addendum to an often referenced law pertaining to the rights of the common folk. Should only be a small effort to push this through the assembly. Yes, I will trade 10 PI for 6 stability any day of the week. Both 70 stability now. Very good. That's, oh, hold on, Minister of Excellence. Here we go. Silman Bulsa, a fine display of financial acumen, has made significant alterations to the national budget. we should expect to see much better revenue this year. I'll happily gain a 10% national tax for 2 years. Yes, please. 72 balance, that's pretty good. 169%. Very, very good. We are making great. It's about to get even better as well. We're making great progress here on that. Okay, so it looks like Leptis Minor won the war. They conquered some stuff from Basatis, and I don't think they conquered any of Thapsus' territory, but yeah, we got larger Leptis Minor, Leptis Major, one might say, and yeah, very interesting. Let's see how that plays out. Perfect health on Lambu, okay. I know this is a fairly low energy episode so far, but I just sort of don't feel like I can do too much with 0 Marshal. I'm just not comfortable going to war. I'd win the war, but I want to be a little thoughtful with my manpower management here. Also, we have another advance. Religious advance to 9, plus 1% omen power. I just don't feel, because like, who I'd actually fight, I'd either fight Leptis Minor, which I don't really want to do right now, and do another North African war, or I'd start conquering East, which is what I want to do next. But I just don't really want to do that with, I don't want to do it under Zynad, basically, just to be on the safe side. Especially because we have a High Marshal character expected to come in next. So, taking the chance to just focus on building up resources. Okay, so do we go straight here now, or do we continue where we were previously? I'm trying to remember where I was headed to before. I think I was over here. I could grab Grand Theater City Building as well. I am now able to grab this. Do I want that, though? Let's see. Grand Theater would be lots of happiness, civ level, pop assimilation bonus. That's pretty good. Territory loyalty. It's a pretty good building, but it's not as good as Foundry for my core, but it's good for my, like, outside of my core, basically. I could see it, but I could also see going elsewhere. I think I want to get to Foundry. I'm committed to it. Let's go ahead and grab it. Material Science. Minus 10% army weight modifier. Concrete, carburization, bronze work, and even the working of wood contribute directly to the development of military technology. Harder steel in particular allows numerous innovations previously thought impossible. In Rome, the Praefectus Fabrum oversaw the dissemination of various military innovations directly. Alright. Very good. Okay. Balance was reduced a little bit. Impatience is a virtue. Hawa Zabrema has become increasingly restless of late. She believes her stature is deserving of a key role in our government. She has approached our assembly, insisting that we bestow such a role upon her. Indeed, given her prominence, we should consider this carefully. Okay, so she would be a solid martial character. This is the Democrat leader. Just wait a little longer. I think I will go ahead and give her a position. Probably replacing Shin Yunbu. He's near death. I think now is a good time to replace him, because he's probably going to die fairly soon. Okay, let me find her. Here she is. Not amazing, but she's certainly pretty good. Actually, I would have probably gone for her anyways because of her statesmanship. Let's bring her in. This will make the Democrats happy, which, that's, you know, that's nice. Okay. Okay, here come the mines. This should be 2 surpluses per territory, if I've done this right. We'll see if people... Oh, here they come. Trade with the Gauls. Then, who else wants my goods? I'm sure some of you. Here we go. Let's Let's see. I'll trade with you. Base metals. Alright, we're now around 70 before other costs. That's pretty good. Barbs? Oh no. They've been paid by Takeda. You cheeky little guy. Okay, well, I don't really have a great answer to this. I could pay them to leave. What are you gonna take to leave? Whenever you start clicking on here and it starts above 100, you know you're in for a fun menu experience. Okay. Do I actually want to pay these guys 500,000 gold to leave? I'm not sure I really care about it enough. They're going to deposit increments of, I think, 500 in every territory. The question is, will they deplete themselves by the time they reach Oyat? I think they probably will, and I think I'm fine with that. They're not going to have the strength necessary to siege Oyat by the time they reach it. That's what I care about. If they had spawned right next to Oyat, it'd be a different story, but it's fine. These guys have the same flag? What is this? Okay. I think those flags are generated by the game, so it's fine. Befitting stature. Hawa Zabarima is settling into her new role well. Whilst she is of the belief that this was only befitting a woman of her stature, she has decided to show her gratitude by offering a small donation to the state. How kind. Alright, so she's gonna actually pay us more than we would have had to pay those barbs. Yeah, these befitting stature events are a little overtuned. People are paying me massive fortunes of gold for just making them officers. You can just fire them right after. It's not like they ask for the money back, so I'll take it. Thank you. Oh my god, what? Whoa! Damn, she was really excited about that promotion. How has Zabarima died in flagrante delicto at the age of 42? Oh my god. That was some unfortunate timing. She just hopped in the bed the moment that treasure chest was like sent to the Capitol building. She had a heart attack. Oh my gosh, wow. I mean, I understand being excited to get hired at a new job, but this is a bit much. Okay, let's not be mean to her. Hawa Zabarima was actually a pretty important political character, leader of the Democrats for many years. Despite the unfortunate timing of this event. Rest in peace, Hawa Zabarima. Oh boy, okay. Well, if he's still alive, Shinobu Nalarigo can come back. Alright. You can't make this stuff up. This is the kind of Imperator Rome event magic that I'm just here for. I mean, Crusader Kings has a lot of character, shenanigans, but it's so much more purposeful. With Imperator Rome, all the character events are so random that the narratives they kind of accidentally create are so funny, whereas Crusader Kings has, like, intentional character dynamics that has, like, more of a gameplay dynamic. Alright, we got the Barbs pillaging. That's fine. They can do what they like. I'm not gonna react. Alright, anywhere else have, nope, no trade goods. Okay. Should I consider changing any of these? I think this stays. We still have a lot of... let me keep it on pause. We still have a lot of conversion happening. Especially in Joloff, so let's keep it going. Central urban spaces, I think, is still pretty necessary as well. Where do we have the most problems? Everything's trending up, and I think everything is trending up enough, mostly because of our good stability. This is really helping a lot. We do have a few problems up in the far north, and losing central urban spaces could be a problem for that. Alright. What are our alternative options for civic advances? There's some pretty good other options, especially tax farming. I'm kind of thinking, oh, you know what? Land appropriation reform. For the citizen output, that would be a lot of research, and that's what I'm mostly focused right now on min-maxing is research. City planning will eventually probably be necessary, but at the moment I don't need it quite yet. +3 capital import routes. Okay, institute tariff exceptions would actually be pretty good. Because this will just give us one import route everywhere. That's a lot of import economy right there. This would be a lot stronger than patronized trading posts. As I've talked about before, patronized trading posts is much better at the very start of the game when you just need surplus bonuses, but this is actually quite a bit stronger later on as we are now with a wider empire. So this would probably be the most sheer money. This would potentially be the most money I think if we were focusing more on import cost or import value, this could be more, but I think slave output, given just my country is mostly made of slaves, would actually be a lot of money. This is not going to be helpful at all. But citizen output, so citizen output would be manpower and research, and I certainly would like more manpower, although it's not a huge concern right now. But the research is invaluable. I'm thinking about it for the research bonus, honestly. Like, at this point, the main bottleneck in my sort of late game development strategy is research and getting these technologies. There's so much research you have to do in the vanilla tech trees. Like, there's so much research ahead. And that, like, the reason I've been, like, kind of frantically over-fixating on just setting up every single place in my empire for maximum research is because of just how much you have to do in order to fill out these tech trees and really get to the good stuff. Like, let's remember, this is very hard. Like, the reason I'm hesitant about going to war with, Egypt, or I should say going to war with Mauritania, let alone someone like Egypt, is I can't forget, even though I'm doing great so far, like, the really big, powerful Empire AIs are going to be a serious danger to us on very hard difficulty. I need the advantage of these tech trees to have a chance here, so I think I'm going to do the switch. I'm definitely keeping complex tariffs. I would rather... I don't know what I'd rather do. I'd rather become a full-time... I don't know, what's a funny... I can't think of a funny joke, as I've never have, but I am not switching off of complex tariffs. This is so valuable. But provincial loyalty plus 0.05, I think I'm ready to drop it with my high stability right now for land appropriation reform. So let's track what we're dealing with here. So 150 plus 158 per month on manpower. And then we're looking at 121.8 and 161% on research. So let's switch it over here. And then we're, of course, going to keep within civic ideas because this extra commerce bonus is critical to maintain. We're going to switch over to land appropriation reform. Private ownership of land is a necessity. However, it is clear that where the state requires the use of certain territories, must have the power to relocate those inhabiting them. Some eminent domain law here in archaic Timbuktu. There we go. Okay, we're now looking at... This hasn't updated yet. What about research? This is also not updated yet. That's fine. Output usually updates on the tick, so we will wait. Actually, the tick is almost here, so let's see shortly. These guys want my dies. I think you've got a few other problems going on here. You're literally being sieged by so many people that your country looks like the Ukrainian flag. Like, what is happening here? These guys are getting tag teamed by Bibrakte and Arvenia. All right. Okay, 163 and 169. Okay, that's 127. Okay, so it's not, a groundbreaking change, but it's definitely given us a boost here. All right. As more pops promote up to citizens, it'll get even better. All right. We should be... These guys should be nearly done with their shenanigans. Do I want to keep those dies? Actually, no, I have enough dies still. Okay. Carthage. Oh my god, everyone's trading with me. What? Did a major trade partner just lose territory? I don't think so. Nothing looks too different. I'm not trying. I've been exporting to just whoever asks, so I'm not paying super close attention to who my export partners are. All right, what are we looking at now for the city? I think it's 37, right? To do this this whole thing. Where was it? Here it is, Bema. 37.50. Okay, keep waiting then. Oratory advance, plus 0.50% country skill level per month. All right. All right, let's grab a Beatian helmet. The Beatian helmet, favored by Alexander himself, allowed good advantage of one's surroundings while still providing protection to the cranium. All right. Kind of speed running this episode. This episode had a pretty long opening as I just yapped about how little I control the politics of my country, I guess, but, you know, it happens. Sigurian gratitude. The protection we have offered Sigurian? Oh, Siguri? Over here? Oh, okay. Yeah, the protection we've offered them, that's one way to put it, has made a lasting impression on the people. They've approached us to ask to become more closely integrated. Oh, I can make them a client state. I mean, I would have preferred this event happening with Taghaza, but do I want to make these guys a client state? Okay, pros and cons. The main con is that they're not Bedaic, which means that feeding them land... I also don't... The other issue is they only border Fadama, and then through them, I guess, con. So I could do a little bit of vassal feeding to conquer into Guinea, but I can just take this land directly. I don't really need their help to do it, right? Like, this is just not super necessary. And then integrating them, like... These guys are basically just being held, you know, in kind of a stasis until I decide to descend on them and take their land and enter Guinea. So I don't really need this relationship. Now, I have plenty of relationship slots that I'm not using, but I think I'd like, as a client state, I think they'd pay me more. I'm trying to remember if client states pay a higher fee because they have a closer relationship. I think I'll probably agree because I think they're going to pay me more. But we're going to actually use this as an opportunity to verify if that's true or not. I don't care about integrating them. I can also cancel this relationship later. I think you get a truce, unlike when you cancel a tributary relationship, which has no truce generation. I think canceling with a client state does give you a truce. That's not a huge deal, though. I got plenty of time before I want to go to Guinea. So let's go ahead and say by all means. And let's see. So they're currently paying me 0.42. Okay. So they're now paying me... Okay, they are going to pay me about 50% more. I guess it's worth it then. I've got plenty of relationship slots, so it's fine. Sure, you can be my best buddy. Go for it. Alright. Almost there. Yep. There go the barbs, as expected. Alright, these guys are allied with Thapsus. Okay, good to know. They are lightly positive towards me. For what that's worth. Tuscia won their war against the Gauls. Nothing too surprising there. Okay. How's Tuscia looking? Vetus Pumpus. That's an unfortunate name right there. I regret saying it now that I have read it out loud, but can't undo what has been done. Some things are just part of the fabric of reality now, and that's just how it is. Alright. Any other shenanigans happening in the world? The Chaldeans are probably going to... Well, I guess they have now conquered Makkah. The Chaldeans fully controlling the Persian Gulf is a little alarming. I had been hoping they'd be held back by the locals for a bit longer, but the plus side is that this likely means Chaldeans turn towards Egypt, which is what I really want them to do. They need to stop messing around with Bactria. Like, what do you need any of this land for? Just let Bactria have it. Like, Bactria's been through enough, honestly. It's not really, like, this is before Bactria goes through it all, but, like, leave this to Bactria. Turn 180 degrees, right? Do a 360 degrees turn and leave the room. Look at Egypt and say, you, Egypt, I'm going to take your land. But maybe the Chaldeans are scared of Egypt. I feel like they shouldn't be. They've got a much stronger core than Egypt. And Egypt is directly contesting Canaan with them. Come on, Chaldeans. You have such a cool flag, and you're also a great power. I believe in you. You must be able to see that this is a good thing to do. Plus, they could team up with Lydia and kick Egypt out of the north. Mostly, I just want people to fight Egypt for me, so I can fight Egypt later. Though for now, we're not quite there yet. Alright, that's enough looking at the world for now. Nothing else too interesting going on that I could really spot. So, back to it. Oh, Sagiri has mercs. What are they... I guess they're gonna go kill the barbs. I guess the barbs are near them, so maybe they want to defend themselves. That's nice of them to hire mercs to kill barbs in my land. I missed my... I was yapping more again. Missed my city construction. I'm not paying the best attention this episode. This is a pretty, like, relaxing episode, so I'm saving my energy for the next episode when we're gonna have a bit more going on. So I assure you, this is not the beginning of a sleepy phase of the campaign or anything like that. Alright, here we go. Found this stupid city in Bema that I don't want to actually found, but it is what it is. I just don't want to spend the stability to abandon the mission. I also am not sure it would fully... I think it would prevent me from getting the mission for 5 years, but I would rather just complete the mission, honestly. I guess the question is, if I abandon it, could it reappear with a different, better location as its, like, city objective location? Maybe, but I'm not 100% sure, and I'd rather just... It's fine. I've saved up the PI. I've got so much money. I can just do this. So let's get a city going in Bema. Weirdly, even though it's not like a real city location, but it's fine. Let's just proceed. Also, 170% efficiency, very good. We're almost at our cap now. We should be getting... Yeah, we're now getting it one more during this episode, which is pretty good. We're almost to foundry. Getting foundries in all of my larger cities will be a big research boost, and I'm actually amazed. Oh, I guess... Okay, well, thanks for nothing, Siguri, my alleged client state. What was all that about? They're like, please, Timbuktu, we're your favorite little guy. Like, let us be your client state. We'll have such a great relationship. And then the moment there's like actual need for Sigirian help, they're like, we're gonna hire mercs and then fire the mercs without doing anything. All right. I feel like I'm about to eat a particularly rotten herring, like all these death events. I'm just like, it's gonna be me one day soon with this these ordeals I'm going through here. Occupation of Caddy is lost. There go the barbs. It's fine. The barbs are gone. Popular vote. Some politicians simply can't avoid consorting with the common folk. How dare they in our republic consort with the common folk? What is this? A state ruled by the people? Ah. The ringleader of this rabble, however, one Razmata Chilabele, who is very awkwardly showing up to this event in her best Zainab cosplay. I don't know why you couldn't have worn any other kind of head veil, but okay. Brings an interesting deal to the table. In return for the support of many of the deplorable populists, she would demand that we close an import. Who proofread this event, please? You Swedes, I know you can speak English over at Paradox. Important import? Come on. Route to our capital, thereby providing the local people with greater control over their own affairs. I don't think I've wanted to do an event less than this one. 10 approval for -1 capital import route in Timbuktu. Is this the city or this is the whole nation? This is capital, so it's just the one spot. I'm definitely not doing that. This is my presumably charisma researcher. No, I'm not wait, hold on. 24 months of Freeman happiness minus 15%. Is that right? Oh my god, really? All right, I'm definitely not doing this one. All right, capital import route. Let's see what we lose. I'm gonna keep track of it this time. What are we gonna lose here? Let's keep a close eye. Actually, I think it might stay at 14 of 13 until this goes away. It's only 2 years. It's fine. I'll survive. Not an unreasonable request. It's just what is this like insurrection behavior? Like, oh, like if you don't close this one trade route, we're gonna tell all the freemen in the whole country to be 15% less happy for 2 years. What is this Democrat sway here? Come on, like. At least if you're going to have these events connected with party approval, why can't you connect it with the actual dynamic control level? Like, I've put in the work to keep the Democrats on low control, and here they're flexing this non-existent muscle. They're reaching into parallel universes to pull out Democrat control they don't have in my universe to do this. Alright, that's fine. I'm really here with the jokes today. It's just without much to do, I just resort to awkward comedy. What can I say? That's Imperator Rome for you. This game really brings out a kind of silly side for me. But yeah, I don't think I'll be quite so upbeat next episode when I get to fighting. It's gonna be rough. We bring sad news. Shinyunbu Nalarigu succumbed to a highly stressful environment. He also regrew his hair at the end there, as usual for these events. He was tribute to the soldier and a friend of the governor of Jene and a rival of the head of the Chelabela family, who was a minor character. Rest in peace, Shinyunbu Nalarigu, long-time minor character superstar on the in the Offices menu. This guy has been a recurring non-family character that I have used as both a marshal and a finesse officer, just because he didn't cause any problems for the party politics. So yeah, rest in peace, Shinyunbu. You will be missed, and I will need to reassign your position to someone else. Okay, let's see. Who do we have available here? Who's got some statesmanship for me to work with? Basically, no one. Okay, not the best start. Who do I have? I think I may move Mala, who has really good martial. This guy could actually be a pretty good Otacon, actually. We'll see if I can make him an Otacon later. Let's replace him with Fiduzu Sawari. He's pretty old. Kenga Sawari. I guess I'll bring in Fiduzu just because he has really good loyalty, and I'll now promote Mala over here. Alright. That's fine. Barbs up here. Alright, just keep at it. That's a pretty aggressive barb spawn rate. Really? Okay. That's fine. Alright. I think once Lambu is elected, I'm going to like really fully commit to dismantling the trad sort of monopoly situation. Again, I like the trads. They're an easy party to work with. I just really want to get some of that build cost reduction, and the noble happiness is nice too. And I just want to rebalance things. Mostly I want to just rebalance things to a kind of more similar to a 3v3, like a three-way split, because the oligarchs, or I mean the Democrats, do actually have a good modifier as well. Actually, this would be pretty good, honestly, for research min-maxing. Do I actually pivot to Democrats? My main concern with Democrats is their missions are really out of pocket, and I don't like a lot of their missions, but I can probably work around that. That'd be the hardest pivot to make, though. I'm in much better shape boosting up oligarchs. I don't really need a lot of build costs. I mean, honestly, with my current economy, I can probably just fully ignore... Yeah, you know what? I think I've been thinking too short-term here. I think I really need, like... Every single part of my endgame strategy here needs to be about citizen and noble output. And in my core, where all my nobles are, they're already pretty happy. Like let's check, for example, in Houndu, like how my nobles looking. They're basically at full, right? And even in like outside of my core, nobles tend to be pretty happy. Yeah, I think output is the way to go. Zainab Isawagan can always be trusted to handle those who do her wrong with admirable benevolence. Okay, I didn't read the last part. I was like, where is this going? Some might say that this invites trouble, but we know better. Alright. Merciful, +1 charisma. Enslavement efficiency, -5% reduction. Extra trad conviction. Okay. As the governor, 8% freeman happiness in Ghana. Okay, that's pretty good. -0.05 monthly tyranny. That's actually really, really good. Okay. You know what? I'm pulling the pivot. I'm doing the pivot. All right, this is gonna be a lot of work, but I think so. I don't want to do this right now. I want Lambu coming in I don't want some random, some random goofy Democrat who I don't have any familiarity with, who doesn't have any good stats, coming in, or for some other weird thing to happen. I like Lambu. I'm familiar with Lambu. During her episode, I'm going to get into the real, like, nitty-gritty of politics. We're going to do whatever we can to get some Democrat control back into our assembly here. Is it possible to break the at this point, like, 20-year, 25-year, almost like traditionalist, monopoly on Timbuktuan politics? And before that, they were mostly switching with the oligarchs. We've had very few Democrat icons, or very few period. Like, it's basically been oligarchs and trads trading off who is the main primary party and who's like a smaller minority party, with Democrats just kind of occasionally having a moment in the sun. But I think for research min-maxing, I kind of need to pivot to Democrats. And I actually wonder as well, there's a kind of forbidden option in the oratory advances, which is this one over here. This would take me out of plutocratic republic, and I don't know if I want to go to dictatorship, but this is also, I think you need to have, do you need to have a Democrat ruler for this? Or I think I'm thinking of Invictus or some other thing. No, you just need to have super high popularity. Okay. Let's see. Dictatorship. One of each. Okay. Let's see. So is that citizen output? Hold on. That is citizen output for dictatorship. Now, okay. Plutocratic republic with 10% commerce income is really good for my build overall. So I'm not in any rush to change things in that way. I don't have an empire formable, or like a decision to turn into an empire that I am aware of having here. This would also pivot us to a monarchy, and I've liked playing as a republic so far, but it would be interesting to perhaps go for this in the aim of full min-maxing. Now, I'm a little torn on I'm not planning on doing this. I'm just kind of contemplating the idea of some sort of pivot towards these texts to launch a dictatorship. Mainly because I like the internal politics of playing as a republic, and I've had so many campaigns that have been monarchies, and it's interesting to play as a republic because it's so much more challenging. But I think I need to think about, and this is something I think I'll consider over the next couple of episodes, what matters more for the rest of the campaign, that it remains true to its republic gameplay experience that I started things out with, or that I go for what is likelier a more truly higher output min-max approach, and go for the government form that's both going to have the best modifiers and be easier to min-max, because monarchies are much easier to min-max than republics, even though I've been min-maxing pretty well as a republic. I'll have to think about it. I'm leaning towards staying as a republic, but I'm open to the idea, and I wasn't previously open to the idea. I think just because I'm realizing how much I'll need citizen and noble output modifiers to maximize research. I'll think about it. I'm not planning on doing it, but it's in the noggin. It's swimming around in the noggin, and I'll contemplate it. But for now, let's keep it together. Okay, so, but I do think, without getting into whether or not we're going to change our full government form, I do want to internally shift towards Democrats during Lambu's reign, but not before Lambu takes over. I don't think I want to stay in trads after Lambu, because I don't think she's going to live long enough. She's probably not going to live long enough to be Adakana again after she's reelected. Assuming she's reelected. I guess something could happen last minute here, as has happened before. But I'm gonna save all my resources now. Also, Bakanu is prospering. The Council of Bakanu has sent an envoy proclaiming that harvest, trade, and taxation have all produced a huge surplus this year. In a splendid show of national spirit, they have decided to offer the additional income to the state. How should we let them spend the money? Perhaps we should let them spend the money for their own uses, however. I think I'd most like to gain citizens in Bakanu, bozo citizens. I'll do this. Give it to the merchants of Bakanu. But yeah, I think thoughts of like larger scale government reorganization. I think I probably won't switch away from Republic, just because I really like the internal complexity that this provides. And the biggest killer of my campaign's late game is not the difficulty, it's my own boredom with how easy the game is in the late game. And I've done everything I could possibly think of to set this campaign up to minimize the risk of that. I'm playing as a complicated government. I'm playing on a kind of more unusual starting situation and map. You know, I'm playing on very hard difficulty. I have these really big sweeping goals that are very, very hard to do quickly and efficiently. So I've basically given myself every single thing I can think of to reduce the chance of me losing interest in the campaign. I've not lost interest in it by any means. That's why I'm, thinking so far ahead here. So I think even though switching to a dictatorship would be interesting, I don't think it ultimately would make sense for the longevity of the campaign, especially because the other goals that I have require the campaign to go so long. I'm worried it would just make it too easy. And I'm not trying to flex about my Imperator Rome skills, but basically, part of why I want to have this big showdown with the rest of the big empires of the world is because the kind of easy way of just, picking fights with softer targets one by one and doing things slowly and steadily, you can eventually just through attrition wear down even the very hard AI if you kind of know what you're doing and you take the time to invest everything really, really well. So I need to give myself as much challenge as possible to prove the full-scale power of this build, ultimately. So I think we're not going to entertain the idea of a dictatorship. Also, I don't really have a character who's a really amazing character that I'd want to do that with, as you have to then commit yourself to the downsides of a monarchy with succession and whatnot. I like the kind of dynamic way the Republic system keeps forcing me to change my plans on the fly. It's definitely annoying, but that's part of the fun, is that you're playing more reactively to your government changing internally, and the changes of party politics also forces me to kind of come up with strategies as I go. So I like playing as a Republic. It feels more challenging and kind of, complex, and that's really what's going to keep me in this campaign for as long as possible, which is one of my main goals here. So, but I do think some sort of internal scheme to rebuild Democrat power to get into the citizen output bonus there is going to be a goal for the next couple of episodes. It's going to be a little complicated to set up because the party is so weak, but we will worry about that in the future. The Faith of Hawa. Never has a more devout woman existed than Hawa Isawagan. Our people clamor at the very door of the temple, demanding that we declare a feast in her honor. All right, so we're going to go ahead and spend 18 gold for 6 stability. This should really be scaled, but it is what it is. Glory to Hawa. 77 stability, look at that. That's pretty good. How's my city construction over here going? Every single time I forget where it is. Here's Bema, okay. It is going to be beginning of next episode. So we're going to have to do some building construction next episode in the background while we wage war. Martial advances. All right, morale of armies and navies, and Legion and Navy maintenance cost increases. All right, that is going to get us to Scythian saddles. Heavy cav discipline plus 10%. With better saddles, our cavalry are sure to be more comfortable riding their horses and have more control of their mounts while engaged in combat. Not very useful for us, but this will be, of course, very good. We're also almost at 175. We're going to have to start running the extra slave output, which I'm certainly happy to do. That's going to be a big economic boost, but in order to not be inefficient with our max research. So this is about to be very, very good, to be sure. Also, I think I should start raising my levies and getting them ready for the attack. I want to declare early in Lambu's reign, so I'm not wasting a single moment here. I imagine this may be a bit of a complicated war because there are a number of forts involved. Although, maybe not as many. Well, actually, there are actually quite a few involved, given who we'll be fighting here. Is there a fort? Oh, hold on. Actually, I didn't realize Niamey has such a similar color to Uncolonized. I mistook them. Okay, so who are we actually going to be attacking here? I think... So, Yatenga... Show superiority. That's right. Okay, so Yatenga would be... So this would be getting the rest of Genes. That's a good, initial option. This would bring in everyone else. Or we could attack Gao directly. Take Diafunu. This is also not very much. These both get us into the war. This other way only includes Kirikongo and not Kirikongo's defensive league partner, Bobo Nialoso. Do I want them involved? Hold on. I think if I want to conquer... I think I do want them involved. I want to be efficient here. This will be a big war. I want to push into Ouagadougou and Songhai at the same time. I don't know if I can take everything. Probably not with war score limits. Like, Gao will survive. I want to fully annex Bobo Dioulasso and Kirikongo and get as much of Gao as I can and set up for another war with them. Mostly just to kind of start cleaning things up over here. The real good territory over here is likely to wait for the second war, but let's go ahead and get our levies going so we can... up to 30 now. Very, very good. 3 supply trains. This army is never running out of food on the march. That is good. Okay, let's raise everyone as close as we can to the borders and get everyone ready. Raise you in Lanba. Raise the Mali forces, who actually have a levy now, over in Taban. Not very much, but it helps. Raise, let's see, the Genet forces can probably be raised just over here. I think we're going to enter in 2 fronts, one in the south and one in the north. Actually, do I split my... I think I might split into 3 attack groups. I think we attack in... So this will be the target. Yatenga will be the actual war goal, so we want to move in here first. I think we need to have a sieging army at Bobo Dioulasso right away to try to knock them out, and then one at Kirikongo, and then another one, maybe I split into 4. One that goes to Fadar, and then another one that grabs Tamara and then goes for Burem. I think we probably do it like that. So let's get everyone raised first. Raise you at Seno. You guys raise... Okay, well, you guys raise up here. And then the Ghana forces can raise kind of in the middle, because they're going to be the main one that splits. I'll leave the Sahara forces out of this one. They can keep their their population, their limited population for now. Okay. How do I want to split this? So I'm looking at... Okay, 6K, 7K. I'm looking at, let's see, 22K total. All right, so let's have one of you head down here and the other. There we go. The other head up here. I'll turn on maintenance. I'll turn it on now, actually. Hold on, I forgot to actually move you. You head over here, and you head over here. Just get them organized into 2 fronts, first of all. Also slow down to speed 3. I'm saving up everything for the start of the next episode. With everyone raised, just want to be careful. Okay, research efficiency is down again. No huge surprise with everyone raised. Alright. Okay. What do we want to do here? I think I'm going to split this army again. And I'll have actually everyone come to Walguyo and stand here together to split into 2 directions. once the war begins. You, I will split as well. Lorraine Banu died of dysentery. Wow, 32. Yeah, Sahara is no joke. Rest in peace. We need a new Sahara governor. Who wants it? This is a brand new high finesse character. This guy looks pretty promising. 28% statesmanship at like spawn basically is pretty good. Not a big fan of this corruption situation. I think I sanction him and then I make him the governor. That's probably what I do. Ribbon output. Research loss, that's probably fine up here. Yeah, alright, let me go ahead and sanction him. A little bit of tyranny, then I'll assign him. That's fine. You guys come up to here, and then the rest of these guys will come in towards Fadar. We have some attrition here. Probably shouldn't stand. Let's actually go back to Seno until we need to come out here. I didn't realize there'd be so little food available. Oh well. You guys, probably come... let's head to Typho to get to Fadar as soon as possible. Actually, head to, this is closer, head to Adiora. We'll see if we have attrition problems. Alright. Any last minute surprises here? Doesn't look like it. Okay, we're just at the supply limit. That tech I got that reduces army weight's actually helping out here a little bit. Not that I typically worry about army weight that much, but nice to not need to worry about that here. Croton? That's my elephants? What would Croton want with my elephants? Really? Okay, if you say so, Croton. I guess they need elephants out here for some reason. Nope. Kumya. This is a con. I don't really want to enter a con. Hold on, no. I'm literally just wrong about that. This is not a con. This is Dorla, which is one of my main provinces over here. Yeah, I'll take it. Sure. I should make sure I get these colonized fairly soon. I've just been leaving them. Alright. This is actually at supply limit in the plains with the river here. That's pretty brutal. Let's wait a little bit longer, then we'll get them dispatched. Also, we have 10,000 gold in the treasury right now. Pretty good situation, to be sure. Lots of manpower. We're almost at our manpower max. That's with our terrible manpower recovery right now. Right? If Lambu died right now, that would be very inopportune. So hopefully she doesn't do that. She's still in perfect health. That's what I... Oh, she's also a friend of Zainab. Interesting. I guess they're both in the party, so it kind of makes sense. Okay, I know this was a kind of slightly more low-key episode with a lot of jokes, but I think we're getting set up here for a pretty interesting next episode with a big explosive opening. All right, let's get these guys into position here. We'll get them split on January 1st. Speaking of January 1st, final check. Okay, Lambu's coming in. As I expected, I didn't think it'd be someone different, but good to verify. And we will slide in to 255 in just a few days here. All right, here we go. All right, Lambu Kamara was elected to office, will now rule our glorious nation. 9-7-10-2. Trads remain in control, own power plus 10%. They want to build a temple. Interesting. Who's the next person expected? Interesting. It's Janebe Chilabele, our newer high priest. Okay. I will deal with that later. But whatever the case, that's going to be it for this episode of the Timbuktu campaign. By the way, if you're watching this on the day it came out, just remember that there's actually going to be another episode later today because I took the previous weekend off to spend Valentine's Day with my girlfriend. So if you're watching this later, this doesn't matter at all, but just so you know, if you're watching it when it comes out, the next episode will be later today on the day that you're watching it. But if it's any time after that day, then you'll be able to watch the next episode anyways, because it will have come out. But whatever the case, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.